What's up, dude? Making a great BLT sandwich isn't inherently complicated. Having said that, a wise chef once told me that in order to be a truly great cook, you need to be able to do lots of little things really well. So in that spirit, here are all my little tips and tricks to make sure your next BLT is the best yet. Now let's go! Now, like any good BLT, we should start with the bacon. And when it comes to the bacon, you can choose whichever one you like. I do find that the thinner the bacon, the crispier the bacon, the better the BLT. Unfortunately, most of those bacons are super low grade and full of nitrites and nitrates, and I'm really not down with all that, so I just buy the best one I can that is the thinnest. Because one of the main draws of a BLT for me is the crunch. The bread is a little crunchy, the bacon is crunchy, the lettuce is crunchy, and all of that is just like excitement in the mouth. And here's another little trick you can do for some style points. We're gonna lay down 3 pieces of bacon, pretty close, just like that, and we'll just pull that little middle piece back like that. And then what I'm doing here is just laying in a half piece of bacon. All I did was slice one of these in half. We'll lay that over, and then we'll take these other two, lift them up like this. We'll place another half slice down, flip these back, and then all we do is pull that middle piece back again, another half slice down, and you get the point, guys, right? We're just repeating this process all the way down to make a nice little lattice of bacon, which is actually really nice when you're building the sandwich because it all stays together. We'll do one more here on the end if we can fit it, just like so. And keep in mind shrinkage, right? Depending on the size of the bread you use, you want to build these lattices bigger or smaller, but something just like this is fine. And if you want, you can set this upside down cooling rack right on top of the bacon to keep it nice and flat. It's not totally necessary, but it does do the trick. And straight into a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven. That's 205 Celsius, I believe, but it'll be on screen here. And for the rest of the bacon, I'm just doing it in my regular style that I learned in restaurants, which is on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. This is just a really easy way to cook bacon with the least amount of cleanup. And if you've ever worked in restaurants, you know we always bake our bacon. It just makes cleanup so much easier, and it's just easier to cook in general. Having said that, I'm not one of those chefs that completely writes off pan-fried bacon, because there is a beauty to when the bacon sort of deep fries in its own fat, right? So if you're just doing like 1 or 2 BLTs, maybe do it in a pan. But if you want to make a load of bacon, do it in the oven. And after just about 20-25 minutes, depending on the thickness of your bacon, it's done. You want to get it out right away and onto some paper towel. We don't want to have a greasy BLT. And the lattices here take a little bit longer, about 35 minutes. Mine got a little crispy around the edge right there, but it's all right. We can always just pop that off. And again, onto some paper towel. Look at that, one thing that's gonna fit perfectly in my sandwich. Now, before moving on, guys, I have a confession to make. I slide. And not only do I bust out 15 to 20 sweet slides every single day, I also shuffle and even make up my own moves that probably shouldn't even exist. But I have one major issue with this, which has been honestly extremely frustrating throughout the years, and that's holes in socks. Every single sock company I've ever tried, I've gotten holes in the socks, and I've tried them all. But finally, like a gift from the heavens, I found a company that makes socks that truly last. These things have been hole-proof after using them for months. The sponsor of today's video, Bombas. I mean, I was literally getting to a point where I was throwing away a sock almost every single day, and I'm not even joking. And their athletic socks are some of my favorite, as they are sweat-wicking and super breathable. I've been wearing them every time I play padel and pickleball in the summer heat, and they are honestly the best. Bombas makes socks for every occasion, whether you're running, hiking, dressing up or down, or just staying cozy at home, and they focus on premium materials like merino wool and extra long staple cotton. They also offer slippers, t-shirts, and underwear, and all are made with the same comfort first mindset. And when they say comfort first, they mean it. These are the most comfortable socks I've ever owned. I'm literally passionate about this product. And Bombas is also a brand with a mission to help those in need. And they donate the top 3 most requested clothing items at homeless shelters, which are socks, underwear, and t-shirts. So each item purchased means 1 item is donated. Look, if you're like me and just haven't been able to find the right sock for you, and you need something that's long lasting and has the quality and comfort you deserve, it is a no-brainer. Just try Bombas. Head to bombas.com/ThatDudeCanCook and use code ThatDudeCanCook at checkout for 20% off your first purchase. Thank you, Bombas, for sponsoring this video. I will truly never use another sock. Next, we're gonna be making some homemade basil garlic chili mayonnaise. For me, this absolutely takes the BLT from here to right about here. It will separate you from the crowd. Having said that, if you wanna just microplane some garlic, chop some basil, chop up a little chili, and add it to some mayo to make a quick version, that's absolutely fine as well. But seeing as how this is a cooking channel, I wanna show you how to make homemade mayo. It is just mwah. In a food processor here, I'm gonna add my chopped garlic, 1 whole egg, and then just a little bit of water. That really helps aerate it, make this really nice and fluffy. And I start with those 3 ingredients. We're just gonna blend this up for about a minute, and you'll see it go from yellow to white as it sort of volumizes. Next, I'm gonna add in my chilies. I'm using Fresno chilies, but you could use another one if you like. And at the same time, we're gonna be adding a load of fresh basil, which really gives this mayo an amazing sort of fresh, summery taste. A little bit of lemon going in right now as well as a little touch of white wine vinegar. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of salt and return to blending. And after about 30 seconds of blending, we'll begin to stream in our oil. This is avocado oil. It's just a neutral oil. You could use another one if you like. And that's your basil, garlic, chili mayo done. And let me tell you something, folks. This is a flavor bomb. And you may notice it looks a little bit thin right now, but let me give you 2 reasons why that's absolutely a good thing. 1, overly thick mayo-based sauces, or sauces in general, I think are just absolutely gross. And 2, as this sits in the fridge for even an hour or 2, and then more importantly overnight, it is gonna thicken up so much more. And in terms of how long this mayo will last, I would try to use it up within about 5 days. Now, when it comes to the T in BLT, the tomatoes, you really just want to find the best ones you can. Obviously, that's why this is such a summer sandwich. If you can get local tomatoes that are incredible and smell like tomatoes when you smell them, that is best. Remove the butthole. And we'll make some nice slices here. Not too thick, not too thin. I do want them to have a little bit of bite to them. Something like this looks pretty nice to me. And the next crucial step is to lay these out and season them with salt and pepper. This is so crucial when you're making a BLT, or really any sandwich with tomato. Pepper too. If you go to a restaurant and they give you a sandwich and they haven't seasoned the tomatoes, burn that shit to the ground. When it comes to the bread, just use the best bread you can find. I got some local sourdough here. In fact, I got this sliced just for ease of use. I have no problems with that. And I'm gonna go ahead and lightly butter this up. If you want, you can toast this off in the bacon grease. I know a lot of people do that, but I really prefer the flavor of butter here. But again, to each their own. If you want to keep it simple, just use that same pan. Medium heat pan here, and we're just gonna go ahead and drop our bread in and give it a really nice toast. We want it to be golden brown, but we don't want to overdo it so much that it cuts the roof of our mouth, if you know what I mean. And when the bread is nice and toasty to your liking, what we're gonna do is what I call just kiss the other side with the heat. So we'll just do about 10 seconds on the other side, and what that does is help the bread from absorbing too much of the mayo, which is coming next. Now, when it comes to building a BLT, there's a lot of debate out there. The standard way would just be bacon, lettuce, tomato. But here's the thing. If you have the tomato on the top and you're biting into it, tomato's juicy, it's potentially gonna bleed down through the lettuce and into the bacon, ruining the crunch on the bacon. To solve that, you could do a reverse BLT, meaning tomato, lettuce, bacon, bacon on top, nothing can bleed into it, nothing can ruin the crunch. Although maybe I just have way too much time on my hands because it doesn't really matter. Let's lay down some of our garlic basil mayo, and you can see even after 2 hours, it is way thicker. Oh yeah. And everybody builds it a little different. I'll go tomato bottom, and then actually lettuce next, and I'm using living lettuce, you know, those ones that you find on the root. You just want the crunchiest lettuce you can find. And look at this, my friends, the lattice. It absolutely fits almost bang on perfect here. Let's close it up, and we're gonna slice it in half on a slight bias. And there's our beautiful, delicious BLT, my friends. I mean, how good does that look? Don't you wanna just tuck into that thing right now? Dude, Marcus, first of all, taste the mayo, dude, please. Thank you for doing a proper taste too. That's all right. You know when you give somebody something to taste and they go like this? I hate that, dude. Taste it. Taste it or don't taste it, you know? I'm talking like this. A little extra sauce never hurt anyone. Yo, I hate to say it, my friends, but that sauce, it makes the whole sandwich. It really does. Like, it just sets it off. A little bit of heat, the basil, the garlic, just brings so much flavor, so much freshness.
Because it's not thick, you can dip.
It's so nice in your mouth. And I do appreciate no bacon is falling out anywhere. We did the lettuce.
I haven't had a BLT, I don't know, ever. I mean, like, I guess I have, but so much better than I remember. With this mayo, pretty close to a perfect sandwich.
Make it. Thanks for watching today, my friends, and please give this BLT recipe a try. Make the basil mayo. You gotta make it, and let us know how it goes in the comments. If you like written recipes, you can check out my Master in the Making ebook. That will be linked down in the description. That has 55 of my personal favorite recipes from the channel. And if you want to stay on the sandwich train today, here are 2 more of my favorite sandwich recipes for the channel. Until next time, you know I love you.